Welcome to the Gals Guide to the Galaxy podcast, where a group of gals gather for you one cool thing around our topic of the month. Is it ancient history? Is it breaking news? Is it safe for work? Well, that's up to each gal. All we know is that...
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
It's a new month and a new theme at the Gals Guide Library. This month, we are talking about our favorite thing in the entire world, librarians! So yes, we are totally biased because we founded the first women's history lending library in the United States, but I digress. So libraries have been hailed for the public good that we don't deserve. Have you all seen those memes? We don't deserve librarians.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I love all of them. So the internet is full of those wonderful memes that are examples of librarians' humor and their shade and their form of signs and their witty book displays. It's all just lovely. So, however, in our little kind of neck of the woods here, librarians are being shit on. They really, really are.
Yes.
So now Gals Guide hasn't felt the brunt of this because it has been targeted at school libraries and state libraries. You know, just kind of follow the money, people. All government funded. But Gals Guide believes to its core that librarians are unicorns. They are magical creatures who make the world a better and more inspired place. So we are going to celebrate them, starting with the unicorns that I have with me today. So first up, she is so close to a master's in library science that she can almost taste it. Like, her teacher told me she already has it. And she's like, no, almost. So the future librarian of the Gals Guide Library, Bonnie Fillenworth. Yay! So Bonnie, introduce yourself to the good people, you unicorn, you.
My name's Bonnie Fillenworth. I'm a visual artist. I do paintings of women throughout history. And I am the library manager here at Gals Guide. And about midsummer, I will be getting my degree.
Yes!
Got to finish up the 2 classes I'm taking now.
Okay.
And then 1 more in the summer.
Sweet.
And that's it.
We're so proud of you, though. So amazing. Exactly. Well, returning to the show and a former librarian from the Johnson County Library System, is that correct?
Yes.
Look at that. It's Amy Dalton, everybody. Amy's back. Yay! So, Amy, tell the good people all about yourself and what you've been up to.
All right. Well, I was a librarian for 30 years.
Look at that. Thank you, Unicorn. Thank you for your service.
Probably more if you count when I was a high school page and a shelver and working at the IU library, all that. But I have mostly worked in film and music. I was a film and music librarian for Monroe County and also the film and music selector for Indianapolis Marion County Public Libraries.
Ooh.
That was a lot of fun, I will say. And then for Johnson County, I did everything.
Yeah, you tend to, right? Every single job there needed to be done, done it.
Adult services, teen services, head of STEM. It was a wild ride, but I took a little early retirement and now I teach preschool.
Yay!
And it is a lot of fun.
You kind of got out at a good time.
Yes, I did.
For the public library system now.
It is a little bit of a mess.
Yeah. It's prickly. Well, I'm so glad that you are back with us, Amy. Thank you. As for me, I am Dr. Leah Leach. I am not a librarian, but I spend many hours of my life in a library. So kind of close, right? I'm the founder and executive director of the Gals Guide Library. I know for a fact that I would not be as happy as I am in my life if it wasn't for the free access to books that libraries have provided.
Oh, for sure.
I love libraries so much that I founded one, right? So that's the closestness. So before I get into our one cool gal, let's see what is happening at our cool library this week, right? So for March 6th through the 12th, on Wednesday, March 8th, we are having our Writing Galaxy space. It is open for writers to drop in and be writerly starting at 4:30 p.m. It is in person and does have online options as well. On Saturday, we have 3 events because why not, right? So our first event is at 9 a.m. and it is walking club. So take a wonderful stroll around Noblesville. Hopefully the weather will stay as wonderful as it has been. Then at 10 a.m. online, we have our Tara Circle. We are doing a book study and we're learning about the 5 female Buddhas called Daikinis. And you can register for Tara Circle and get that Zoom link at galsguide.org. And then at 11 a.m., and for the rest of the glorious day, we are hosting a women's history extravaganza. That's right. I have to say it like RuPaul does. So join us for activities, for stories, for free giveaways, and the announcement of the winners of the Gals Guide Anthology.
Dun, dun, dun.
There's like medals, like, you know, the end of Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be great. Like, I get to reenact and be Princess Leia, and I don't know who's going to be Chewbacca, but I'm very excited because Chewbacca's going to get one too. It's going to be Luke and Han and Chewbacca are both, because we have a first, second, and third place.
There you go.
So we were going to announce the winners of the anthology. It'll be fantastic. So for more information about all of our events, go to galsguide.org and click on that calendar. And now for one of my favorite questions. Bonnie, are you ready to go first?
Yeah.
Yay! Who do you have for us, darling?
I have a lady that I am, you were talking about not mispronouncing your lady's name.
Yeah, right.
I've been mispronouncing her name my whole life.
Oh, there you go.
So
I know
I'm
that
gonna
feeling.
Try to pronounce it correctly.
Okay, give it a shot. It's worth
I
worth an
have a
attempt,
lady-
right?
Let Google tell you.
I know.
Exactly.
That's
Say
what
it
I
again,
usually,
Google.
especially for some of the ladies that are, have more foreign names than my super white butt. I usually have to like look
Right.
them up and then spell them out.
Yeah.
Not how you're supposed, like how I would
Yes,
pronounce
your
them. Not the
phonetics.
little like backwards E shenanigans. Like
Oh,
that's
yeah.
that's another language.
Especially French. Like, I really have to spell things out if it's a French iteration. Like, where those T's go.
Oh,
I know.
Or don't go.
You just ignore the last letters.
Right.
It's just-
Oh,
They're all just there for show.
I remember traveling in Greece and we were on the train and we couldn't figure out where the stops were. And so we were going to get off at Corinth and we kept saying over and over, Copentheta, Copentheta, Copentheta. That's what it looks like.
Right. And they're like, we don't know where you go.
It's like, we'll figure it out. We're just
Goodness.
we're looking for Copentheta.
Right. Exactly.
Goodness.
So how do you pronounce?
My lady's
Yeah.
name
Uh-huh.
is Mariah Mitchell.
Oh, okay.
I'm
I always said
surprised.
Maria.
Yeah, I've always
Oh, Mariah. Okay.
said Mariah.
Oh, like the singer.
Yeah.
Yes, Mariah Carey Mitchell.
I love this mashup already.
No, but yeah, I've known about her. She was one of the first like ladies I heard about when I was looking into women's history for the first time.
Yeah.
I was very surprised I couldn't find any podcasts from any of my favorite podcasts I like to listen
Oh.
to about her. I couldn't find a documentary on Canopy.
Oh,
I couldn't even find like ones on like YouTube.
gotcha.
I think there's like a couple adult books. There's a bunch of kids books,
Oh,
but like I'm like,
weird.
for being
Yeah.
like she's kind of known, but like I couldn't find a whole lot of resources
Huh.
on her.
Interesting. She's kind of like the Annie Jump canon, where a lot of people know about her, but yet
Mhm.
there's no like real book on her.
Yeah. Or you know what they did, but you don't know their name.
Right. Yes. Yes. Exactly. Wasn't it that one person who did that one thing? Yes.
Yes.
Correct. Did you?
I'm getting them out like people can.
Oh,
see.
look at that.
She's in some of my favorite books.
Yes.
She's mentioned in the Glass Universe
The Glass Universe. I do
because
love
she's
that book. Yes.
adjacent,
Sweet.
and she's in The Women of the Moon.
You've talked about
Yeah.
this
I'm
book
very
before.
excited. I've only read like 3
Yes.
chapters of this book so far.
Gorge.
It's the like 30 women who have craters named after them on the moon and little biographies about them.
You know,
That
I
is
love
so
that they
cool.
have a crescent moon on the second O of moon, but if they had it the other way, if they had it waning instead of waxing, that is a feminine
Ta-da.
representation of the moon.
Well, the moon
So,
herself
maybe they
is
didn't know.
often a goddess.
It is. Yes, the
So-
whole moon is.
So why is it
yes.
all named after men?
I know, right? Exactly.
Except for 30 holes.
30. Oh, there was a number in the very beginning. It was like it's like 30 out of like 2,000 or something. It's
Oh my goodness.
ridiculous
gracious.
percentage.
Right.
That's not pretty
Amazing.
thing.
Of the yes. I do love the moon, though. I'm obsessed. We have a couple of patrons that come in and be like, what moon books do you have? Like, they don't care. They just want anything that's moon related. They just love it. But yes, so we have a couple of holes named after us women. Woohoo! Great. Take that however you do. It's fine.
Yeah.
So Mariah Carey Mitchell.
Mariah Mitchell. I did not know until a couple days ago that she was a librarian because she's known for other things.
Mm-hmm.
I just know her as astronomy, and that's probably like end. You know what I mean? Like, didn't she do something with astronomy?
Trey asked me the other day, like, who my lady was going to be. And I was like, oh, it's Mariah Mitchell. I started telling him. He's like, why do you always do the space thing?
Because you are a space
you
nerd.
love it.
You do the glasses.
I think I got like one more. I think I got maybe one more Harvard computer
I like
to
it.
go. I thought about squeezing her in.
Maybe somebody needs to do some research and find some more for you because
there's a bunch of them
gotta be
in there.
Oh, for sure.
Sweet.
But she was born in 1818.
Oh wow.
Her mother, Linda Coleman Mitchell, worked in a library. Her father, William Mitchell, was a teacher and an amateur astronomer. She was the third of 10 kids.
Whoa.
They were
it was 1818, right? Yeah. Contraceptive was a little bit difficult, yeah.
I have 5 brothers and sisters.
Right.
Seems perfectly fine.
They were Quakers.
Oh,
because
sweet. Yeah.
Who doesn't love a Quaker?
Yeah.
In 1936, she began working as a librarian at the age of 18 and worked there for 20 years. And it sounds like she got to do what all people who aren't librarians think that librarians do, and what everyone like going into libraries think that they're going to get to do all day, which is read all day.
No.
That would be amazing. She got to do that for a little bit?
She got to like do that for a long time.
She was living the dream.
So she read up on a bunch of like her favorite like sciencey things that were coming out at the time.
Nice. Now you said 1818. Do you mean 1918?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She's like,
holy crap.
She was an old lady.
Okay, yes.
Like she taught Murray, which is one of the computers, was one of her students.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, she's like,
sweet. Yes. For a second there, I'm like going, wait a minute, this sounds a little bit more
like
modern.
The timeline, I need to look up what the timeline is. But
you're good.
She's like,
that's crazy cool.
Well, with all the other Harvard computer ladies, I think they were going to school in like 1920.
Right. Oh yeah.
So
okay.
she's like way.
She's the OG.
Yeah.
Got it. Yes.
She's got to be born before Annie Jump Cannon.
Right. Yes.
And Wilhelmina Fleming, but I think she was like maybe not dead, but
still like a crossover. Well, those two had long lives. Yeah. So if the long lives all over, do all of the space ladies have long lives?
No. No.
I mean, not all of them, but you know what I'm saying. It's just interesting. You study the thing you love, you live forever.
Who was it? It wasn't Cannon or Wilhelmina or Gaboshkin. I think Henrietta Swan Leavitt didn't live very long.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I think she died when she was like 40 or 38 or something.
Because the other ladies were like in their 80s or 90s.
Yeah. Cannon was like the grandma starling.
Yeah. I mean, she always looked old. I mean, I think she was 18 and she already looked like an old lady. But it's fine. Steve Martin had gray hair at 20. It's all good. The world isn't fair.
But what she's known for is Miss Mitchell's Comet.
Yes.
Which she observed October 1st, 1847.
Wow.
She saw it in her telescope because she did that for fun.
Yeah.
She had her own little telescope, and she saw it. She went over to her dad's house. They looked at his telescope.
Yeah.
And then they sent it off to, they're in Massachusetts. I think it was Harvard.
That makes
Harvard
sense.
Observatory.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, yeah, seems to make sense. And then they sent a notification over to the King of Denmark was offering a prize to anyone who found new comets.
Oh, Sweet. Thank you, Denmark.
Yeah. There was some kind of competition. Some other dude also saw it, but they noted, like, the date and time.
Yeah.
And I think even his letter got to the Denmark dude first, but because of the postage system is,
Yeah.
they figured out that she saw it first.
Oh.
So that's how she got
her letter
little...
just took longer to get to Denmark. Interesting. Good job, girl.
I want to say the other dude was from, like, Italy.
Gotcha.
But, yeah. So that was, like, her big... She became famous.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, as soon as you said it, I'm like, oh, yeah, of course. But, like, you said her name, I didn't even relate Comet to it.
But because of this, she was hired by the United States Nautical Almanac to chart the movements of Venus, which was used in navigation.
That sounds like fun.
So this is, she's living in Massachusetts. A lot of people are going out, like, whaling. And this is 1800s. They're still using, like, the stars to navigate.
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah.
So she's, like, calculating all this stuff.
Wow.
And she's doing this at the same time that she's still a librarian during the day.
Oh!
And then
librarian
she's doing
during the day and out with a whaling crew looking at Venus at night. I love this.
With her sextant.
Yes, the sextant.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
It's like a triangle. Yes.
I keep talking about all kinds of weird instruments.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they had like a different name for, it was basically like a stopwatch.
Oh, but
they were just like counting down, but they called it a something-mometer, and I'm like,
right? You're like,
you mean a clock?
So
yeah,
like
right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you mean like counting seconds?
Yeah.
Okay,
I was
got
like, okie dokie.
Amazing.
And then in 1857, she traveled to Europe for 2 years. This is back in the time.
Did she live in all of her favorite dreams?
Well, yeah, because how long did it take? It took months to get there.
Yeah,
I guess. Waste your time.
Right. If you're there,
you're
there.
Yeah.
She did the sightseeing in a bunch of different countries. Ooh. I know she was in London and France and Italy for sure.
Gotcha.
She remarked that she stood on top of Sir Isaac Newton's grave.
Oh, nice.
Where she met Mary Somerville. And I had to look up who that was. Might have to do her later. She seems like just the lady who knows all the things back in the day.
Ooh, nice.
And John and Carolyn Herschel.
Oh, yeah, the Herschels.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
just know they're space related.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm like, I remember that name from this book.
Yes. They have stuff named after them, too. I don't know what, but I can't remember if it's like a satellite or something. I thought they had something named.
Something.
Yeah.
But I think it's named after John.
Some space junk is named after the Herschel. I don't have any space junk named after me, so kudos.
I don't have a hole.
I know.
I don't have a moon hole named after me.
This is very true. Life goals.
But yeah, she's in, I forget if she's just still in Britain and has a Scottish host or she's in Scotland. And they talk about she's there in her diaries and they served her tea and she was like, this is not tea. Like, it was, I think, pretty much straight up whiskey.
Oh! Yes.
Oh, Scotland.
Tea.
She was like,
Nice. I like it.
In 1867, she was asked to be one of the first group of 9 teachers at Vassar College.
Oh, the ladies' college.
Yeah, set up to teach women. Gotcha. And there was only one other female teacher. So 9 teachers, 2 of which are women, and she's one of them.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
And she was the director of the observatory and did photographing of sunspots and changes to Saturn and Jupiter.
Ooh.
Interesting.
She's working her
time.
Yeah.
Photographs of.
She's working her way through the planets, is what I'm saying too.
Yeah. Like this is, nice. I think, even before they even knew about Pluto. Like this is probably around the time.
that
I think they discovered Neptune and Uranus.
Oh, what'd you just say? Sorry,
no, they changed it to Eureka.
Space holes.
I know, space holes. Once again, the whole planet form. Love it.
But yeah, she taught Antonia. Oh goodness, Maury.
Okay.
I think is how you pronounce it.
Sure,
She's Harvard. She's one of the Harvard computer ladies.
Okay.
And Christine Lawn Franklin
Okay.
She's the first woman to get a PhD from Johns Hopkins.
Ah.
She signed her application C. Lad so that they wouldn't know that she was a lady.
Oh,
And they tried to
sneaky.
back out of it.
Of course.
But eventually they're like, yeah, whatever. And then she graduated. And then she didn't receive her title. So she just got her titular degree.
The tit degree. Oh.
But was eventually awarded the title of doctor when she was 78.
So, better late than never.
Thanks for nothing.
Great.
She started a tradition called the Festival of the Dome, which is a fancy party of questions of the heavens, women's rights, and poetry.
Ooh, I like that combination.
Yeah.
Is it also like a ball gown kind of
I think
situation?
it's the fancy people come and they get to like ask their sciencey questions and then they
Yes.
talk about the stuff going on at the day. Just this is the 1800s,
Yeah.
so
I like it. We need to bring those back. Sweet. The dome.
And in 1873, she was a founding member of the Association for the Advancement of Women,
Sweet.
where she met a lady named Susan B. Anthony.
Susan B.
Na-na-na.
Love you, Susan B.
In her time, she also met with Frederick Douglass
Sweet,
and
yes.
Sojourner Truth.
Awesome.
She was the first woman elected to the Academy of Arts and Sciences.
Oh, look at that.
And she died in 1889 of, I think they said it was like a brain disease or something.
Her
Her
brain was
thing.
so smart that it
Yeah,
got
exploded.
tired. Yeah, it exploded. Science.
It burnt out.
But yeah, there's the Maria
Wow.
Mitchell Association, and it's like a museum,
Okay.
an observatory, an aquarium.
Oh.
It sounds just like all the science things
Nice.
in one thing.
Yeah.
And I
That's
think
so
they
neat.
still keep up with her dome fancy parties. There is-
We'll go to
I
the dome at
found-
the all science
Let's
aquarium thing.
Go and ask all the sciencey questions in a huge...
In a big dress.
In a big pool. Yes. I like it.
Yeah, I found on
plants.
YouTube a recording. I love these things, and I can't wait till we get to do some of these things at
Yeah.
Gal's Guide. It's a woman reenactor
Yes.
of Mariah Mitchell, and she's
Okay.
reading things from her letters
Okay.
and her diary. And it's on YouTube, and it's delightful.
Sweet. We are
so
going to
great.
do one of those kind of, we're calling it a history fair, and it's going to be in July. We're asking people to we're asking grown adults and children, but mostly adults because it'll be funny, to make a trifold board with their
Oh my
favorite person
gosh.
of history and to dress up as that person and to do any kind of interactive reenactment type thing.
Oh, I'm so in.
I know, it's going to be so
Oh
much
my
fun.
gosh, it's like those PowerPoint parties where you like
Yes.
do the
Yes.
only with a trifold.
And you get
Love
to
a
dress
trifold.
I'm just saying, trifold boards are just, when my kids had a science fair project, I was more excited than they were.
Right? Or like when you had, it just came up in my Facebook memories as my James and the Giant Peach trifold display with
Yes.
the giant orange ball that we glued sea creatures onto.
Oh, amazing.
Bugs.
Yes. It's a beautiful thing. Yes. Okay. But you had
Are we
but it was a
gonna-
reenactor?
Sorry.
Are we going to allow people to be Carrie A Nation, though? Come in here?
I don't know. I think it'd be great. Somebody might be Dirty Helen, which was the Noblesville town prostitute, because it is celebrating the bicentennial, and we want all history to be covered. Actually, the Dirty Helen impersonator might be me.
Why not?
Because I love her so much.
You're
There's
not
a
going to
beer
be
named after her. I mean, come on.
You're not going to be the mega squirrel from the general, the squirrel stampede.
I might have to switch between mid. I might have to have 2 trifold boards, and for half of the presentation, I'm a squirrel, and then the other one.
Did Dirty Helen really lead the squirrel army?
I don't think she did.
We don't know.
Oh,
she could have been
true. We
feeding
don't
them
know.
acorns.
You're right. We don't know. There's enough loopholes in history that if she was around Noblesville at the same time as the squirrel stampede.
There you
Have you ever
go.
heard of the squirrel stampede?
No.
Okay, so 200 years ago, last year, was the anniversary of a locust of squirrels entered Noblesville and decimated crops and lived in trees and were just an absolute nuisance. And so they called it the Squirrel Stampede. And we know about it because of diary entries and newspaper articles of people complaining about all these squirrels. So we had a celebration, and our squirrel that we made was Gigi the squirrel, standing for Gal's Guide. And she went through a lot of therapy. And she's really sorry for her ancestors, and she's going to do better, and she wants to work with the people of Noblesville instead of stampeding.
She's giving Noblesville back some corn as reparations.
Right, exactly. Yeah. She's very sorry for what her ancestors did, but she's a friendly squirrel. That's what we made up.
Oh.
But who's your reenactor lady who's reading Mariah's letters? Sorry, we derailed.
I sent you the notes earlier.
You did.
Yeah, before the thing. Oh, this one doesn't show. Oh, it's got a whole transcript.
There's a transcript. I do also love me a transcript.
I do too. I love that YouTube's doing that now.
Mm-hmm. Especially when you have a podcast. You're like, wait a second, I just need this one little bit for reference.
It's transcript.
Is it a really long one?
Her name. I know he says her name at the end, but let's see. I would think.
Gotcha. Either that or where is she at when she's reading? Is she at the Dome? I think
she's at the Maria Mitchell, one of their buildings there.
At one of the museum.
The aquarium.
The aquarium museum observatory.
It's someone filming it in the audience. Studio. And they pan up, and at some point they like turn down the lights and have stars on the sky.
Like a planetarium.
Yeah.
I think it's pronounced Planetarium. Sorry, I watched South Park back in the day. Can't even say it right after that stupid episode. Planetarium. I don't know why the T is silent. I have no idea why. Sweet. Well, now I feel like I know more about Mariah Carey Mitchell.
She did not marry. She was a single lady.
Look at that. She was a working girl, huh? She was all at the colleges, and she's apparently exploring the entire world and all the planets. So,
yes,
kudos.
I feel like that plays into the longevity.
Right? Yes, right? Very true. I don't think Annie Jump Cannon married either. And,
she did not.
Just interesting. These ladies living a longer life. Just so happen to also not be married. No ideas or anything. No. Dun.
No, I think he says her name at the end, because I think at the beginning he just introduces her as Mariah Mitchell. Because
okay, that makes sense.
We don't want to spoil it.
Right, because she's a reenactor. She's in the zone.
Yes. No, I love these things. I'll watch that one with Cokie Roberts with the 4 first ladies.
Yes. With Martha Washington and Abigail Adams. Yes, where they're all in character answering
Dolly
Cokie's
Madison,
very serious questions. Yeah.
I forget who the 4th lady was. Or maybe it was just those 3 in Cokie.
It could have been.
Like, one of them was like, I've been reading your letters. And she's, oh my.
How did you get your hands
I know,
on
it's so rude of me.
Yeah, it's tons of fun. Great. Yeah, so we'll get to do that in July. Sweet. Do you want me to wrap it up, Tara?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Well, that wraps it up for us this week. Join us next week for another cool woman of history as the Gal's Guide podcast continues. Thanks for listening. For show notes, links, and images from this week's show, visit galsguide.org. Want exclusive stuff like deleted bits and major bloopers? Become a Gal's Guide patron today. Thanks for listening.